Hello, adventurers. My name is Maximus, and I will be your dungeon master for the evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the 49th episode of Campaign 2 of Caches and Cantrips, where some of your favorite streamers play Dungeons & Dragons live on Friday nights. I'm joined by our wonderful cast of Bunny Dreadful, Mac and Cheese Please, Virtual Spectre, and Moves Like Jagger from the GGN crew. Nina will not be joining us this evening. She is gone. She's tired.
Damn it, Max. Every time.
Why do you always say it like it's the most devastating?
She's gone. And only an image of her character remains.
Oh my god.
Yeah. She's
fine. She's fine.
She's great. She's doing great. She won't be here tonight.
You're still saying it like we broke up or something. Stop it.
She's fine. It was amicable. We all decided that she wouldn't be here.
She's fine. It was a conscious uncoupling.
And is not getting back together.
No,
she's fine. She'll be back next week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So hope you're having an excellent Friday night. I can talk sometimes, just not that time. If you are new here, welcome. And I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding. If you haven't checked our YouTube yet, please do.
Awesome time you're going to have.
Yeah. YouTube.com/@casters and And we're actually there right now. Or if you're listening to this later on, we were there right then. And you can go check out some of our exclusive things like Out of Combat, our show after the show where we talk about the show. Very riveting and very, very secrets heavy. Or you can get that in our podcast as well, wherever podcasts are sold.
In the last episode, there were like some good secrets.
There are secrets in the last episode for sure.
Wait, did you watch it, Max?
I have to. Yeah, I watch most of them when I have to edit them.
Yeah.
What a noob. Can't look at audio lines and just know where to cut. He has to watch it.
I do that sometimes, and sometimes I don't. I already knew everything anyway, right?
That's right.
Just kidding.
Superman Max.
What's that?
I said Superman Max.
No, far from it. Speaking of super people, all of our listeners are super people because we're over 4,600 listens on all our podcasts. Hey. So everybody listening is super.
Thanks, listeners.
Thank you for listening to us and enjoying our content or hating our content and hate listening to it. I'll take either one. Is that a thing?
Heck yeah. Hate listening is totally a thing.
I'll take a hate listen. That's fine.
Engagement, right? Tell us how much you hate us in the comments or love us, whichever.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, I can't take it. my little fragile psyche can't take that.
Just add a winky face at the end, and then we'll know it's okay. You're just joking.
Then we'll know that you're joking. Anyway, or if you want to tell us how much you hate us in real time, you could just join our Discord and do it that way. But like what Moob said is leave a winky face. So either we know that you're joking or we think that you're joking and it doesn't sting as bad.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just going to ban you.
Oh, I was going to cry, but
I ban every on a daily basis. So it's part of my job.
He's a hardened veteran of the hellscape that is the internet and social media. But you can go to Discord. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you got to stamp out toxicity before it spreads like a weed, and then you're good. You got to keep your garden in order.
This goes for real life too. Just get that toxicity out of your life.
We have a very nice garden in our Discord.
That's true.
All of you are pretty flowers.
Aww.
And then there's
especially some of you know who you are.
Eating garden gnomes.
But yeah, you can hang out in our garden at discord.gg/casters and cantrips.
Our chat is trying to be haters right now and they're not even good at it. So you can tell that our Discord's a good place.
That is a good Discord bot idea. And then people can be little flowers. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud.
I love it.
Well.
Also, if you want to get early access to all of the audio, I almost said audible, but that works. Audio content that we have and get occasional secrets and early access things, go check out our Patreon where you can do that. And there is a tier where you can create an NPC in this wonderful wide world in our campaign, and they'll be there somewhere.
I like audible content.
Audible content.
What
Yeah.
about edible content though?
Edible content is on our own. No, I'm kidding. Oh man. With that being said, does anyone have any words of wisdom before we start our 49th episode of the campaign this evening?
I bought the garlic stuff from last episode. I just want everyone to know that.
Did you try it?
I haven't tried it yet, but
Oh,
I bought it.
You're in for a treat.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's my words of wisdom is buy things Bun tells you because it's probably really good.
Hashtag influence. No, I don't know.
Hashtag influencer.
I will say that I went on a streak last week where I ate a sandwich for lunch, like the same sandwich 4 days in a row with that garlic stuff on it, like on the sandwich.
Sammy? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
interesting.
was thinking it was like a soup kind of moment. So maybe I don't have to wait until I'm like making soup or fried
Mhm.
rice.
Yeah.
So confirmed. You could put that stuff on anything.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Very, very easy to use. Anyway, without any further ado, and from our wise words of wisdom from Mac to listen to Bun, let's go ahead and begin our episode of Casters and Cantrips. Our story last left off with the party returning to their ship after narrowly escaping the beholder zombie in the ruins. The crew, now settled into a routine of repair and preparation, were also preparing for the critical vote to decide the unfortunate's new captain. Tensions rose as the crew debated on who should lead them: Azric, their current captain, Hayden, the quartermaster, or Taj, the deck wizard. As the voting unfolded, the results came down to the wire. In a dramatic finish, Azric retained the captaincy by a singular vote. The crew, though divided in their preferences, ultimately rallied behind Azric, where he assured them that despite past mistakes, he was committed to leading them to glory and success on the high seas. On the journey back to Blackburn Cove, the crew stumbled upon the wreckage of another ship. As they investigated, they discovered signs of foul play, deliberately cut ropes, and strange damage to the hull. It became clear that this was no accident. The ship had been sabotaged. The crew was left to wonder who could have done this and why, especially as they neared the treacherous waters leading to Blackburn Cove. Once they arrived, the crew were greeted by a bustling port filled with ships from all members of the patronage. The speculation amongst the crew was that the last time this many ships were in port at once, a vote to appoint a new member of the Captain's Congress occurred. That is where we'll begin our episode this evening. And Fun will be back shortly. Her computer blue screened.
I hate to see it.
So, you have arrived at Blackburn Cove. You have ships upon ships, and I had mentioned last episode that there are maybe 1 or 2 slips open to even get into the harbor. The docks are entirely full, shoulder to shoulder. Crews unloading, preparing to offload their ill-gotten gains at the harbor master. Shops full. The drunken mermaid overflowing into the streets with those trying to blow off some steam after who knows how long at sea. But you have arrived.
Well, first things first, we should go see Reginald at the shipwright and get our ship patched up.
I
Not a bad idea.
Oh, very good. I suggest we use the funds we got from the ruins, patch up the ship, and then divvy up the remainder to the crew and whatever we owe Blackbeak. And she's here on the island.
Wonderful. And how much do we owe her?
Too much.
25,000 gold pieces.
That's a lot of gold. Have we paid it? Any of it back?
Maybe about 100 gold.
Well, she's not charging interest, right?
I hope not.
Oh, yes, well, imagine we can pay a decent portion of it with our current holdings. So, but maybe let's just see what's going on first. I don't think I've seen quite this many ships in one place in a very long time.
You're in for a treat, Hayden. It is the Congress. They're going to vote for who's taking positions.
Right? And this happens today, tomorrow.
We just got here. Maybe we'll just like poke around, ask a few people a couple of things, and we'll find out what's going on.
Sir Kurzak is sort of there in his bosun capacity, like taking stock of all the damage and trying to figure out supplies they'll need, how much they can do versus what Reginald can supply with his crew members. And he looks a little nervous. It's just the sheer amount of people in the Cove. I've never been present, assuming that there is a vote, but I thought they were just supposed to be in session. Usually people don't all show up for the session of the Congress, but I'm not sure what's different here.
I don't have the slightest idea either. Maybe something big is happening. Requires the presence of all pirates.
Well, as I'm sure that you all know, lots of pirates here. Not a lot to do on the island. May want to be extra careful. When pirates get bored, they tend to want to imbibe on the local swill, gamble, which leads to hurt feelings, or fight. Probably the top 3 pastimes.
Fighting's fine as long as there's no killing against the rules on the island here.
Of course.
So make sure that our new recruits are well aware of that.
Indeed.
Let me know how much the damage is done that we can do on our own before we speak to Reginald. I'm sure it's going to be a hefty payment with how much damage done to our ship.
Of course, we'll at the very least need to pay for supplies, and it depends on how long you'd like to stay here. Because we could obviously I don't think any of the work is completely beyond our means, but it might not be in a timely manner if we rely on just our crew.
If you need additional hands to help repair the ship, just let me know and I will get you the funds.
Very well. I'm sure that it seems as you were going to have a meeting with Reginald yourself, so he would probably be better equipped to give you cost analysis and those sort of things.
All right, very well.
I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of hungry and thirsty. It's been a while since I had a decent ale.
Oh, decent ale. You're not going to get that here, my friend.
Well, I've been here before, but...
I mean, hopefully we can get some sort of service. This island is over capacity. It's packed to the brim. But we could go check out the local inn.
Last time we were there, a fight started and it was scary. Do you think we should be like a cat again this time? Or I don't know. Maybe I'll just stay on the ship.
If that's what you want, but just remember, practice your mean at me here. And sometimes if you just glare and not say anything, like no words, just like look menacing, people will leave you alone.
I could try. He like glances at Taj and is like, oh, and then like
Taj is like not paying attention. She's like looking over the edge of the ship, like excited. She's happy. She can't wait to get off. Like she's ready. Like for her, this is home. She's not scared.
Whisper, I imagine you're going to report to Captain Blackbeak.
Indeed. I'm sure she'll have some sort of assignment for us. It has been quite some time since we've last made contact.
Maybe we should set up a meeting so we can give her some more money, no?
I'm sure that would go a long way to keep her in good spirits of sorts.
Aye.
All right. Well, let's go check out the inn, and then we'll see what to do from there. Maybe we'll hear what the ruckus is about here on the island.
I'm gonna go as a cat. Emmy's nervous, so I'm gonna turn into a Siamese looking cat. That's fur is almost looks blue if you were to look too long.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hop on Azric's shoulder for a free ride.
And you start making your way to the Drunken Mermaid, and before you even get halfway there, you get stopped. A couple of rough-looking sailors, and one of which in the middle is a rugged and stout-looking dwarf with long braided black beard adorned with various other trinkets, like rings or, pieces of like it looks like little napkin things that you'd put, like the napkin rings, like in his beard, like anything that looks expensive. Yeah. Like it's not meant to, but he just puts it in his beard just for the look of it, I guess, to say I've got all this money and I can put whatever I want. Jewels, rings, like lots of adornments there. Very strong, muscular build. Has a leather eye patch over his left eye, and you can see a pretty gnarly scar underneath it. And he sort of stands there and holds his hand out and looks to you all. I'm assuming the entire crew, other than those that are kind of getting the ship ready for dock, are just kind of mingling around, like you're all getting off the ship and walking in the general direction.
Uh-huh.
And he looks over all of you, and then sees Whisper, and just says, "Whisper, hand in hand." And he looks and goes, "I do believe it's time for your annual checkup with the captain. Been a minute. She just wants to see how you all are doing. Checking in on your investments, it seems."
And we're going to see her now?
"Oh, yes. It's not a question, it's an order."
I see. Oh, very well. Lead the way.
And the rest of them just kind of, the rest of your crew are just kind of sitting back, but the rest of like the officers and you all are kind of corralled by this group of rough-looking pirates. And he starts making his way in the direction that you were going. And you're headed right towards the Drunken Mermaid, which at this point looks like a total shit show at this point. Like, there's people like in fist fights out in the street. There's people like singing way off key sea shanties. Like, it is hopping and it's like 10 in the morning. Like, it's gonna be a long time, or quite a ride on this island with this many people here. So you can hear the music kind of bustling inside. They've got a group playing. And you make your way closer. He sort of just looks up at you. He goes, "You're really easy to spot in a crowd, you know that. Making my job easy for me."
I'm sure you're looking out for us regardless.
"Well, you're all just so flashy."
Speaking from a man who's put napkin rings in his beard.
"I earned these.
I'm sure.
I don't think that the crew that were carrying these and other trinkets are gonna miss them."
Oh, I have no doubt they're going to miss him at all.
How did they miss something when you're 20,000 leagues under, you know?
Yes. Quite a chatty one, aren't you?
Eases the tension. Most people think when I stop talking is when I start killing.
Ah, I see. Oh, is there something to be of concern? There's quite a commotion happening here on the island. I've never seen it like this.
You mean you haven't heard?
Oh, we've been away for quite some time.
Well, rumor has it, the Captain Orion
Yes.
Good. Whole
He's
crew.
dead.
Right. Whole crew gone. Ship sunk. The Star Strider.
No. That can't be possible.
I heard that it was a insurgency. Some hunters got the drop on them. And he looks over his shoulder. Isn't that what you heard? And you see a woman kind of say, she's got like a wild mop of crown or curly brown hair. She goes, "That's what I heard anyway. Got the drop on him. Sunk him just like that. Outgunned."
Oh. It's Evansy. We also had a run-in with them. Barely made it out alive.
If you had a run-in with the Conservancy, I don't think you'd be here.
Well, you should see their ship.
I'm gonna hiss at him.
And he hisses back.
Please don't hit at the cat. You won't like it when she's upset. Oh, I am assuming that people are putting their names on the hat to replace Captain Orion?
It seems like it. There's a couple names being thrown around, but nothing's, well, completely formulated at the moment. I heard they're gonna have open nominations in the next couple days or so.
Does this mean war with the Conservancy, or are we just keeping our nose out of it?
We're always at war with the Conservancy. They're fucking relentless.
I know, but maybe it's time that we have a full frontal assault and take them out.
Well,
More of us than them.
if we can get, I don't know, the whole fucking island point in the same direction for once and ever, then maybe.
So, no way in the nine hells this has happened.
Stranger things have happened. So never say never. Maybe under the right leadership.
Well, mayhaps our captain with the biggest armada might put her name into the hat.
Well, I can't speak for what the captain wants. But if I was sailing under any banner going to war, then it would be hers.
Were there any survivors from Captain Orion's crew?
Not the one that we know of. Maybe they took some with them. I've heard that they'll do that to any survivors that beg for leniency will get taken, never to be seen again.
I see.
And they call us the evil ones.
Us? Evil? We're just trying to survive. Nothing evil in that.
I mean, it is fun to sink a ship or two,
Of course.
even if they don't need it. Keeps them on their toes. Can't let them think we've gone soft. Right. And you've reached the sort of the doorstep of the drunken mermaid. And as he heads in, people just give him space in this crowded, shoulder to shoulder, shitty ass dive bar full of pirates. They just give him just a wide berth. And he sort of leads you through, and he goes up the stairs where you know that they have rooms available. Usually not very many open. There's first come, first serve type of situation. You make your way up and you go to past several sets of doors into one that's sort of the end of the hallway. And he goes, "All right, just waiting for you."
All right. Then we'll make our way in.
Alrighty. So you make your way inside, and you can see that she is there, sort of waiting for you all, seated behind a table. This looks like a permanent office, and just sort of waiting for you there. And she just looks up to Ironhide and just holds up a number of her fingers, asking just for something, and he goes, "Right on it," and goes downstairs. Please sit. And it's been a while since you've seen Captain Blackbeak. And if it weren't for her reputation, her small stature, might put some people at ease if she were anyone else other than Captain Blackbeak. You can see sort of her golden yellow feathers, the corner of her eyebrows, and just staring at you are her bright red eyes. Just looking at you over underneath them. And since it's been 38 episodes since you've seen her, Captain Blackbeak is a Penganu. They race the penguin type people in Erebos. Large scar on her beak as she has a sort of cup of some kind of swill on her desk. Just her papers strewn about. A brace of pistols that she's just wearing behind the desk.
It's very good to see you, Captain Blackbeak. You're doing well.
I'm curious. How many prizes have you taken since I so graciously pulled you under my wing?
None of the ships were salvageable. But we have found loot.
That is one concern of mine. The other concern that I have, and she just looks over all of you, and you notice Whisper is slipped in behind and is sort of standing in the corner of the room, arms crossed. My concern and my question is, where the fuck have you been?
We were in Escos.
I don't make it a habit of keeping close tabs on my associates, but it appears I might need to put you on a shorter leash.
Well, I'm sure if you needed to get in touch with me, you would have your ways.
And she looks over at Whisper. And you. Fucking disappointed. You are my representative, my voice on that vessel, and you allowed them to roam around my seas without even any sort of semblance of checking in. And she just sort of just like holds her head down and doesn't even try to say anything. And you questioned me when I said you're not fucking ready for command. I want to make something abundantly clear to you, Captain Azric. I own your crew. I own your ship. I own you. It is by my good graces that you're alive. No. I don't ask for respect. I think that I earn it, but I also demand it of those that are indebted to me.
Of course, Captain.
Consider this your only warning, if you'd like to call it that. Whisper, why didn't you try and reach out? Well, we weren't at many ports and no way to get contact, and I wasn't sure, and she just looks at her. Despicable, disgusting. Sniveling excuses. However, I am a magnanimous employer. I offer you an opportunity to win back my good graces.
I don't mean to interrupt Captain Blackbeak, but Whisper was acting under my command at my discretion, and we had quite an innumerable amount of problems that needed to be solved under discretion. Of course, the fault is all mine, as I am the captain of the unfortunate. Of course, we are serving you, of all things.
So quick to fall on your sword, to highlight your ineptitude. Would have been interesting to see one of you two as captain, though. I heard it was very close. Luckily, at least some of my associates on your vessel understand the importance of sharing information. Wouldn't have changed anything, though. Not in your debts, anyway. Doesn't bode well for you, Captain Azric. Such a short tenure of captaincy already being questioned. Makes you sound fucking weak.
Well, the sea is very unpredictable. No, I don't mean to be rude, Captain Blackbeard, but you brought us here for a reason. I'm sure you have better things to do than to berate us.
Someone else you'd rather be?
Quite thirsty.
And then about that time, you hear like a polite, knock on the door. Enter. And you see that Ironhide has sort of like a handful of just like swill in some like wooden cups, and he's just sort of setting them down, handing them out to whoever wants one. Right on cue, Ironhide. That will be all. And he just sort of side-eyes you all and walks out and closes the door. It's funny how even my own quartermaster is no job too low to please me. Loyalty or fear, both effective.
I agree.
No, I'm not sure what you're privy to in the workings of the patronage in your absence gallivanting on Escos, as you say. But there appears to be a vacancy open. And Captain Orion's unfortunate, unexpected demise.
Very unfortunate.
Can I do an check on that?
Yeah. What are you checking?
What's the word?
Insight.
Insight's the word.
What are you trying to insight from Captain Blackbeak?
Do I think she had anything to do with his unexpected early demise?
Sure. Make an insight roll.
Or is she just happy about it? Oh, I rolled a natural one, so no, I don't think so.
I'll do one as well.
She's hard to read. Based on the stories that you told, that were told to you about her, as far as you know, she's fully capable of doing whatever she wants. If she wants someone gone, they're gone. If she wants something, she gets it.
For
17.
Oh, that's way better than one.
Go ahead for, were you going to say something, Hayden?
For my memory, does Blackbeard already hold, like, I assume she already holds a position of, like, authority on the island? No?
She has never sought a seat on the Captain's Congress and has been outspoken in saying that it's useless and weak and does nothing for the island. Azric, with your 17, Captain Blackbeak, to try and get an insight into the machinations and plans that she has, there's no telling. Entirely capable of doing this. You're not sure. You don't get any visible tells of her, like, hinting at something or trying to, you know, have you read between the lines here, but you do get a sense that she is wanting to seize an opportunity here based on this conversation. But whether you could point your finger and be like, oh, she did that, who knows? She's probably capable. Of course, that would be a sort of unheard of move. While, you know, murder's not allowed on Blackrend Cove, and there have been times where pirates have openly fought outside of the safety of the cove. Straight up, what you would suspect if this was all happened, you're sort of creating a conspiracy theory in your head. This is not like pirates openly fighting. This is like a coordinated, like, murder of a captain on the Captain's Congress and an entire crew with no trace other than some wreckage. Pretty scary shit.
Is Captain Blackbeard known to frequent the island a lot? Because maybe I would imagine she has her own stronghold.
While Captain Blackbeak doesn't hold a seat on the Captain's Congress and is typically out longer, she has a much larger vessel than you and most other ships on the island, so she can stay out. But her own stronghold, her ship is her stronghold, the Banshee. There's very few vessels that could stand toe-to-toe with her ship. Most of the time when she would come in, they would come in after prize after prize after prize and would come in just obtaining riches beyond most of the pirates, you know, wildest dreams here, which could be construed as a recruiting tactic. Oh, this ship comes in and gets all kinds of money from the stuff that they've stolen.
Is it kind of weird that Captain Ryan, there's no, like, sign of him? Is that, would you say that's like a weird thing, or is that like a standard thing with pirate captains and ship battles in general? Based
on what you all had found when you investigated that wreckage and basically
we saw the wreckage.
Yeah, you did. You investigated it and saw some wreckage there.
We knew that something weird had happened, like something wasn't adding up about it.
Yeah. So let me backtrack that. Ask your question one more time, because I got confused with a couple of different things that happened.
Because there were two moobs in the chat. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes. There can be only one. You must fight now. So basically, the wreckage we saw on the way here was Captain Orion's, right?
That's not been proven. That was a misstep on my part.
So we're not supposed to know that?
It could be, maybe not.
I don't know what to do.
Okay. What I was going to say is...
I was just trying to get a general... My question was a general... I'm not a pirate or a sailor. If a ship just goes missing with no sign like that, is that considered abnormal? Just generally.
Full-blown murder mystery on your hands.
Okay, so it is like of note that there's no sign. Normally there'd be some like, well, we knew they were headed here and another ship said they were there and killed them. Like it would usually be something, right?
I would say too that based on the investigation of the wreckage, you would at least known that it was another like ship of the patronage, pirate ship.
So getting here and finding out that he mysteriously vanished, it's like put two and two together.
Yeah. You can definitely say that's a logical conclusion to make. Like, oh, was that it? But there's no gotcha. Direct correlation. So
okay, thank you.
One of us, when they were inspecting that wreckage, saw that it didn't look like a typical ship battle. Like the way the rigging was or something.
Sabotage.
We did like Arcana checks on it. Yeah, that's the word. Sabotage. When the guy that brought drinks in, the next time he enters or leaves the room, Cat Emmy's gonna like, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of Azric's shoulder and slink around, and then I might take the chance to like slip out of the room quietly.
Gotcha. So I will say with all this happening, he came in and is leaving immediately, so there's a chance to do it now, or you could wait after he hands off the drinks.
I would have wanted to have already have been on the floor. Like if Azric and Blackbeak were talking, I don't want to be anywhere near where her gaze is. I just didn't want to interrupt to say that. So if that's okay, I was already on the floor and then I'll slink out when he leaves.
Yeah. Just make a stealth roll as a cat.
Okay. Should be. I just have to find my cat stats. I think they have a stealth +4, 18.
Yeah. So you can kind of slink out behind as he shuts the door. But the conversation back with Blackbeak. I see an opportunity for me in this tragedy that befell Captain Orion.
Really? I didn't take it for you to be one of politics.
Well, I think it's a opportunity to right the ship, as it were, of the Cove. I fear we've gone soft, forgotten why we are exiled here. But let me be plain here, as political machinations turn my stomach. I will be nominated for the vote. You will nominate me.
Of course. You have 100% of our support.
I've heard Captain Aldrich of the Stormcaller will be nominated. And Captain Mira of the Sea's Vengeance will be nominated. There are rumors Captain Darak of the Blood Fang are considering it. So you will nominate me when the time comes. Also, you will help other captains come to an understanding. First
In
off,
way of payment or blood, it shall be done.
the Stormbreaker. Oh, sorry. The Stormcaller. First off, I cannot have Captain Holdrick even in the conversation. He has one of the larger vessels that, well, that can't rival mine, could be seen as a sign of strength on the Congress. So I very much would like if you sank his fucking ship.
You want me to sink Captain Ulrich's ship?
Oh, yes. Is that a problem?
Not at all.
Secondly, Captain Leroy on the phone. He is quite on the fence, indecisive. I don't know how she's going to vote, and I don't like that I don't know. So, I think that you could ensure that her vote would be with me. How you do it, I don't care. I've heard rumors of her stealing through one of the ships. I've heard some of her crew claiming cargo their own after it's been brought in port. I don't care if you fucking do it. Blackmail her. Threaten her. Whatever it takes. She's weak. Easy to manipulate.
Consider it done.
Captain Thorn of the Ironclad. Well, he fucking owes me money. Deeply in debt with more than just me. When the time comes, I will give you a chest for him, and he will vote for me. It will go a long way towards him not being hung for his transgressions. Generally, pirates don't like it if you don't pay them back.
Very well.
Captain Mira, well, she's probably the bigger threat between her and Aldrich. Generally well liked. I would like you to fabricate and plant some evidence that implicates her in a betrayal to the patronage. It seems as though maybe she gave information to the Conservancy, which led to the end of the Stormbreaker. Oh, sorry, the Stargazer with Captain Orion.
Very well.
Last, certainly not least, the bloodied buccaneers of the Bloodfang, Captain Durok. If you would, I would not like to personally meet him to negotiate some terms. I generally don't like him as a person. But if he can come to some sort of understanding with me to win his vote, I would personally bring him along on one of my infamous prizes, so his crew can enjoy the spoils, as we're guaranteed to have. It's been a while since they've had a win.
Right, very good.
No. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. I will win this vote. Now, you have your orders. I don't care what the fuck you do. But if I lose, well, your head will be the one to roll.
Yeah, yes, understood, Captain.
Well, wasn't this fun? Just like old times.
Yes, it's like yesterday when we were on your ship, negotiating terms.
I am... As I've said before, I think it would be appropriate that... Well, for each of these things that you accomplish, I would credit you 1,000 gold pieces each. Would your debt to me, which would bring it up to around 20,000 if you complete all tasks.
Very, very generous of you, Captain. Thank you for the opportunity.
Also, fix your fucking ship. I'll be calling on you soon. If everything goes to plan.
Yes, Captain. Right away, Captain.
Make your fucking swill, I paid for it.
Let's down it. And I look at the rest of the officers and I'm like, go on.
So Emmy was a cat and left.
Yes. So you...
Huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
Well, I was just going to say, if her crew is doing stuff, Emmy was just going to slink around and listen in.
So you follow Ironhide out of the room. And he seems in high spirits, rather jovial, as people sort of part the waters to let him move through. And you see him point someone out into the crowd, and he sort of just is laughing. And he goes, "Oh, Craig! You fucking bastard, Craig!" And he points, and someone looks and looks away as they are like, he didn't see me, and is kind of hiding in their drink. No! And he starts walking, and the crowd's just parting for him. And he walks up. Craig is a human man. I mean, looks like quite the salty sailor in his own right. And he goes, "It's good to see you, Craig." And she just kind of nods. He goes, "Aren't you gonna buy me an ale?" And he goes, "Right." And he holds his hand up to get attention of one of the barkeep or any of the servers. And you see Ironhide grab his hand, turn it into an arm lock, and slams his head on the table. "What is my fucking gold, Craig? What is my fucking gold?" And it gets quite dark. Where basically the scene is set where Craig is pleading, "I'll get you the money." And Ironhide just responds to him, "I better fucking hope so. I fucking hope so. Hope you're not too attached of your fingers and toes. Because every day I don't get it. I think I'd like one of them. How does that sound?" And he just nods. And Ironhide lets him up. He goes, "I'm just fucking with you, Craig. I should have seen your face. But seriously, I want my gold." And just leaves.
Is everybody around the bar watching this they're "I'm not getting involved" kind of thing?
Oh yeah, it's like that scene where everyone's jovial, having a time. There's always somebody fighting, in this bar right now. And it's like the moment where he slams on the table, the person, who's playing a fiddle's like, and the music stops and everyone just kind of waits. And then it's like a sigh of relief. And then everyone kind of goes back to what they were doing. And as you're following around Ironhide, he's just right back to his jovial self, like nothing happened. He grabs someone else's ale and starts drinking it off of the table.
And he's your quartermaster, right? Like,
yes.
Oh boy. Okay.
And he's just having conversations with people he knows. And it's general, like, there's nothing particular happening that would want you to try and listen into like any other plans or anything. Okay. It's kind of like, I did what my job was. I got those officers up there, got the ale for, is like, I'm on shore leave. I'm going to do whatever I want until I got something else to do, kind of thing.
Go be an asshole elsewhere. Got it.
Yeah, but you do get some insights into both his character and how the rest of the island sort of treats members of the Banshee, like their crew, especially officers.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But back in the office, after you all have had your drink, anything else you want to do before you're out of there?
Is Whisper still like just head down?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was trying to see if maybe she had any reaction to all these requests.
She has the look of like a kid who got in trouble in school. Kind of head down, not making a peep, hoping it's just that she gets to leave.
Thank you very much for the drink, Captain. We will get right to work.
And see you around.
We'll get out of there, or she yells at us.
And Whisper slips out with you all, trying to get out, hoping that she doesn't call back for her. And as you sort of make it back out, and then the music of the tavern sort of comes back into earshot, and you just see Whisper, just some of the color return, some of the sort of purple hue of her skin, flushing out as where it was quite pale looking as she was in trouble, and just lets out a sigh of relief. Fuck.
Oh. I don't think anyone's talked to me like that since Captain Marius Black. Oh, used to yell at me all the time, if you remember. Our old captain.
Hi.
So, I think we all need a hard drink.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Aiden.
Think about what in the hell's we're supposed to do now?
You're off easy. Very
right,
easy. Fine.
The way I see it, Captain Black-Speak needs us more than we need her. But of course, my head is on the line here, so she's given us 5 almost impossible tasks to complete. And who knows how many
she
days.
gave it to you, don't you?
Not really.
Deniability. She can outright be seen intimidating those that are also nominated. So, a degree of separation.
Right. Because no one knows who we are.
Well, we're doing the dirty work. And currently, well, for me anyway, we're not part of her crew.
Right.
And when exactly is this vote supposed to happen? Do we have days, 1 day, a week?
I would assume at least a few days.
Wonderful. A few
Possibly a
days
week.
to do 5 different things, none of which are going to be easy.
And has leapt into a chair at the table.
Well, one seems easy enough. Another task just takes a little convincing. One seems outright impossible. Yeah, I think we can at least bang out 3 of those today. This chest she asked us to give whispered. When will we get access to that? Or is that something I need to talk to Ironhide about?
Well, she said whenever we're ready, so I'm assuming I can go talk to Ironhide and get that available to us.
I was hoping to relax a bit, as these past few months have been quite hard on us, but there's no time to stay light on our feet.
Let me inquire when this nomination will be happening and when the vote will be happening. I assume the nomination would be in the next few days. The vote might be a week out, at least. Give each captain's time to, well, politic.
Right.
Question. Emmy turns back into Emmy.
Mm-hmm.
Are we sure we want to do all of these things? I mean, I thought pirates lived by sort of like a pirate code sort of thing, and all of this seems very anti-pirate code.
More like...
I don't know, Asmik, how do you feel about this?
Oh, this is... I prefer if we had this conversation, we'd not have it here.
Correct. Should we buy booze to go? I think I still have some rum on the ship. If we want to meet there.
Yes. Yes. Please buy supplies. For booze, I need to stop by Reginald's to see how much damage it's going to cost us. And then we reconvene at the ship.
I'll figure out the timeline. And Whisper just kind of gets up, finishes a drink, and then just heads out.
I quickly grab Whisper's wrist, and I'm like, I have your back, Whisper.
Appreciate what you did. I don't think it quite mattered to her, but it mattered to me.
Right. You safe out there.
She slinks through the crowd, and as soon as she takes 5 or so paces, it's just gone.
All right, let's get out of here before we get into a bar fight.
Okay.
And as you were making your way out, and the Drunken Mermaid is it's pretty close to like where the harbor is. It's like one of the first stops after the harbor master where they sell all their ill-gotten gains. It's like right there, prime location for where you'd want it to be. You're making your way out onto the streets to head back to the ship. Then as you're making your way out, you see what looks like a sailor arguing with someone, or you hear it first, and Taj, your ears perk up because you recognize the voice of at least half of the argument. And you hear along the lines of, "No, I refuse. I do not like you. I do not like your crew, and I do not want to do business with you. This is it." And as you turn a corner, you see Zara talking with a captain, and this captain appears to be sort of very large, gray skin orc, with sort of red dyed like armor, like leather armor, and it's adorned with like predator like teeth or something on the shoulders. It looks very like garish looking.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says, "Listen, I've got the fucking coin. I just need what you're selling to get us over the top a bit. I used to be one of the top captains here. We just had a stronger bad luck is all. Regardless, I do not want to sell you anything." And you see Zara is talking to this captain.
I walk up to them. Is everything okay?
And Zara like looks at you, and she just sort of nods. "It is good to see you. I did not, well, you don't call, you don't write, you do not send.
I have been away.
Obviously." And this orc goes, "Hello, I'm doing business here."
Doesn't seem like you are doing business if he does not want to do business with you, no?
Who the fuck are you?
Does that matter?
You know, I've killed people for much less.
So have I.
And you see Zara sort of grab his forearm as he kind of turns to threaten to you, and her eyes sort of begin to glow like a pale blue. "Well, perhaps if you do not leave, I will scramble what brains you have left in your head, and I will keep you around as a manservant for me."
You would make a good one, no?
I didn't mean anything by it. Just think about it. And he just like stomps off. Clearly, just he don't want to mess with any of that magic shit. Like he doesn't want any of that. And she reaches out to give you like a hug.
And I embrace her back.
It's been quite a while. Are you going to be in port for long?
I think so. Our ship is incapacitated. We need it to be fixed, and I have all the ingredients.
For which?
I don't remember.
Well, you wanted me to make you a scroll of knock, I do believe. You also mentioned something of true seeing. Either of which it is fine. I'm fully capable. You got, I think, all of it for knock, but not all of it for true
Yeah, I'm
true seeing.
looking back. I know I wrote it all down. It's been so long. I don't remember what I have all the things for, but yeah. We shall do that.
I
True
will
sight,
tell you.
scroll, gossip, knock are the things I wrote. I don't know what gossip is.
I don't either.
Oh yeah, no, it says gossip. Call for vote in Captain's Congress. Fresh blood. Make decisions as island as a whole. Discuss who's allowed to operate on island.
So the scroll of knock, you have 3 ingredients out of the 4, which is enough. For the scroll of true seeing, you have 1 of 4. So you have the starlit ink for scroll of true seeing, and for scroll of knock, you have a basilisk scale, which Hayden knows all about, an echoing crystal, and ironwood splinters. Well, regardless, come by whenever you have a free moment, and we can, well, I can make these for you. It will not take much time for scroll of knock, so.
Are you free right now? Or do you need some time to get some errands done?
And she sort of looks over at the rest of your group. It appears as though your captain was walking with a purpose, but I'll be around. It's no trouble at all. And perhaps we can unlock the mysteries of whatever that thing is that you were carrying. I'm quite interested.
Me too.
I mean, you're more than welcome to, Taj. I still need to go to see the shipwright. May take some time.
Maybe we sit up?
Aye.
And you're going to be rude and not visit me as well.
Oh, well. I thought it'd, give you time to catch up after all. It's been quite some time since we've returned.
This is an excuse for me to host people that I actually enjoy being in my company. I do not want this to be a Taj come to see me to do work and then just leave. It's quite rude.
Oh, well, then perhaps we have some dinner?
Well, come to my shop around sundown. I will ensure that there is refreshments and dinner, and we will get to work.
Very, very well. And it's a date.
Very well. Taj, it is so good to see you. I am excited to be working with you once more.
Me too. And I
Perhaps you
kiss both her cheeks.
She does, the same thing, the both cheek kiss. Hopefully you've been studying since you have been away last time you were here.
Not so much. There has not been any time, but we will catch up. We have many stories to tell.
Never change. I shall see you this evening. And she sort of just takes her very nice, sort of see-through, shawl and just sort of, turns around and just sort of flourishes it and starts walking back away from the harbor. And as you all sort of make your way through the crowds of, it's just sort of a crapshoot and a mixture of every couple blocks. Is someone fighting? Is someone sick from too much ale? Is someone singing because of too much ale? Or are people carrying stuff back and forth to the harbor master? It's spilling out into the streets. But you all make your way back to the Unfortunate with your, I believe Hayden had grabbed some rum on the way. Was that right? Some drinks to go. If y'all will just deduct 5 silver pieces for you all, and then you can make it back and have your discussions about what's going on. But I think that's a great place for us to go ahead and take our break. for the evening. So go ahead and grab a snack and some refreshments. Go stretch your appendages, and we will be back here in just a few minutes. BRB, everybody. And we're back. Hopefully you found some snacks and stretch your appendages. I don't know why I paused so long there.
Trying to remember the word appendages?
I don't know.
We got them. Look at these. Stretching.
I was like, what? You're like, we got him. I was like, who'd we get? These arms. We got him, bud. Where we left off, you all were going back to your boat to talk about things, to have a discussion. So, that's where we leave off. You make your way back to your ship, the Unfortunate, with rum in hand, ready to discuss the immediate future, it appears.
Hi. But let's head to Captain's quarters, officers.
Yep. Everyone goes and is present, including Whisper and
Ghost Cooter.
or Zach.
Oh.
Is present unless he's not needed.
All right, Kozak, I'll get you up to speed. We had an audience with Captain Blackpink, who is our benefactor, and she has given us tasks. But first of all, we need to fix the ship and how we will go about handling these 5 missions. Or we take it to a vote, and we leave this life behind.
Captain, do you think that would be leaving this life behind might be a discussion that would need to be had with the wider crew, as they just did vote for you in confidence to lead us to victory and loot?
Hi, I'm just throwing out ideas. And then I'll fill in Kurzak on what we have to do.
Oh, well, can we do this? Is it a little underhanded?
It's a very underhanded, I think.
Well, 3 of the tasks I think is fairly easy. 2 of them, not so much. And I do have the sneaking suspicion that we will be thrown under the bus after this is all done.
That's what I'm worried about, is what if we do all this, then we get kicked out of the island anyways?
I say bus, I mean carriage.
I'm curious to know which of the tasks that the 2 that you find difficult.
Blowing up probably the second largest ship I've ever seen in my life.
I can do that one. I'm more worried about the 2 that seem pretty underhanded.
The planting of false information?
Yeah, that doesn't feel like a very piratey thing to do. I know I'm new to this life and all, but it just seems wrong.
I had to beg it to you, Emmy, but this is it. This is the life.
Planting false evidence to make another pirate crew go down for no reason that even affects us directly?
It does affect us. But then Captain Blackbeak becomes part of the Congress.
Right. That's not.
And
but you know what I mean.
more importantly, Azric gets to keep his head.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I'll do whatever you tell us to do, Azric. We voted for you.
To be fair, Miss Emmy, it is at times a lot more fun of, having ships surrender and taking their the treasures from them, and without a fight, we've just been on a bit of a dry spell. And that's all.
Yeah, it just feels like we've never really done that part.
We'd have to build a reputation, and it becomes easier.
Yeah.
Our reputation is trying to be built, and then Blackbeak just throws us under the, what'd you say, the carriage? I don't know. Does that get us there?
That's speculation. Of course, if everything goes wrong, she will 100% throw us under the carriage, meaning that she's going to throw us to the wolves. Maybe throw us to the sharks.
Wolves?
Maybe that's a better analogy.
Oh, that's fine if she throws us to the sharks. I'll just ask them not to eat us.
But this is... she's under the assumption that they're going to eat us.
Well...
She's just saying. She's going to blame us for it, and everyone's going to know about it.
What do you think we should do then? Do you think we should take that risk? I mean, I guess we have to.
Well, if we complete all 5, that's 5,000 gold off our debt, which is a large...
Not very much, though.
5,000's not a lot?
It's over like 20,000. I can give her 2,000 right now.
Well, we owe her 25. And we still have how many months has it been? We have a 6-month contract. We have the remainder of whatever has passed.
Okay. Well, I think you know best, so I'm fine with it.
Well, obviously, I'm going to put it to a vote. This is what we do. We're pirates. But I just wanted to throw out the idea if this seems impossible and we're being set up to fail, we can leave. But then we will have no safe harbor. We will be wanted by both sides with nowhere else to go.
It feels like that's going to be the result either way, if I'm being honest, but I guess it means we might as well try.
We do this flawlessly. Unknown will be the only one who's going to know is Blackbeak.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, if you were to pay off your debts early, then I believe your service is shortened. Which
so we just pay her off and then not do it?
Do we still owe her a ship, though?
5,000 or a ship of equal value, correct?
If you were to pay her off today, that would mean maybe a month's more service. I will say that she will, of course, lean heavily on you to get her money's worth. I just want to be clear. Are you all considering not doing some or all of these tasks?
Oh, no, I just think we were worried if we could do them. And we don't really want to do them, but I don't know that that's an option.
I think each and every one of us has their own trepidations about it. I, for one, would rather not die.
Like me.
So, I think our best bet would be to see as many of these done as we possibly can. 2 of them seem of relative ease. The rest would be considerably harder to accomplish. Why don't we start by getting some wins under our belts? One, we simply have to deliver a box. The other one, just tell somebody that Blackbeak will take them for some prizes. 2 easy wins, relative.
Can I roll a history on Captain Lyra? What I know of her?
Absolutely. Roll it.
All right. That is 17.
Yeah. Captain Lyra is... One moment, please. So Captain Lyra Hawthorne is someone that they're not a very well-known captain. They're just one of the captains. Tiefling woman, kind of crafty, resourceful is her shtick. She's sort of a wild card. She doesn't like to pick sides. In sort of, from what you understand, is she likes to hold out as long as possible to create a situation where she might be a swing vote of sorts, or things might not rest on her shoulders, in order to maximize how much she can get out of the situation. So it seems to be that based on what Captain Blackbeak is doing, is saying, nah, screw that. You just tell her what she's doing and I can avoid this altogether.
Whisper, do you happen to know any dirt on her? To convince her.
Not off the top of my head, other than the rumors about claiming cargo that wasn't hers.
Oh.
At the harbor master after it's being turned in before being sorted. And the accusation of, well, stealing crew from other crew members, sort of underhanded dealings. Nothing strictly and outright against, well, the rules there, but in poor taste.
I suppose if we can prove that the cargo wasn't hers, we can use that as blackmail.
Maybe so. You would have to, well, I don't think her word against another captain's would necessarily be enough. You might need to get someone involved from, well, the harbor master to affirm your suspicions.
I think we could just pay off the harbor master. That might be a simple solution.
Didn't one of your old crew is employed there now? Does anyone there owe you any favors?
Yes, I'm not really sure there's favors, but probably convince him.
Your ex-BFF, Volrin Tritus, the hobgoblin. Who really likes you and kind of likes Taj by proxy. The jealous friend.
I'm sure. I could probably convince Volrin quite easily. Go way back.
Don't get caught manipulating records of the harbor master. I am in agreement with you all that most of these seem rather doable. The hardest one, discrediting Mira, making it seem like she's working for the hunters. And of course blowing up the storm collar.
I'm not worried about that one. I almost blew up a ship before.
Would you be able to blow up a ship and have no one know that it was us?
Or I could sneak on there and no one would know that it was me. If I go on just as like a rat. How would they know? Like, how are they going to know?
From my understanding, I think that ship is at least 3 full decks with 2 fully stocked armories, their own gunpowder room locked up.
I can get in a locked room, no problem. And then I can just summon my magmen in there and they'll blow it up.
May take a...
Wouldn't that... Sorry, continue, Whisper.
May take a coordinated blast. Multiple locations to make sure it sinks.
I can summon multiple magmen, but it'd probably be a good idea if another 1 or 2 of us could sneak on board, yeah. Then I could use all my firepower on one. This is trickier, maybe.
Well, none of us can turn into animals.
But I can make us invisible.
Yeah, exactly, Taj.
Right, Taj can.
And let me double check, but I might be able to do something else too.
Wouldn't that raise suspicion, though? A ship blown up at port?
What if we just sink it?
Well, a ship that large, if you can't just poke holes in it and expect it to sink.
Here's the thing. Things like these are frowned upon out in the open. You don't murder somebody. You don't attack somebody. You don't sink the ship in port. If you get caught, you're made an example of. If you do it for personal gain and end up moving up the ladder because of it, and no one can prove anything, well, that's almost fucking admirable.
I have a question.
Yes.
Does polymorph work where like they're aware of the objective or they're now a cat and they're dumb?
Let me look at polymorph.
Because I have polymorph and can make people animals, but I'm like, would they still retain the objective?
I think it's both.
Let me see.
Because it says it retains its alignment and personality.
Yeah, 1 second. Let me look at it, and I will come up with an answer in 1 second.
I want you to turn everyone like into goldfishes. It would be so funny.
Yeah, so polymorph. Let's see here. The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast, and it retains their alignment and personality. So it's really going to depend on like what's the plan and what creature that you choose. If for example, if you're polymorph and you're like, that's an enemy, I got to fight him. That's probably going to translate very well if you're polymorphed into a beast, right? Oh, bad guy bite, right? If you are polymorphed into a beast with a low intelligence and it's like, I have to sneak into here, take 3 rights and then a left and then go down through the vent and hack into a computer, like that, you're going to get lost and be like, what was I doing? Like it just depends on the complexity and depends on the animal that you choose. So
can the person who's been polymorphed unpolymorph at any time, or does the spell need to be lifted by you?
I don't know.
Spellcaster.
Me.
Right. So it'd be one thing to sneak aboard, but in order for somebody to say, light a match or something, they would have to be unpolymorphed.
But I have message, and maybe I can tell the animal or creature to do something. They
But
might
it's
listen.
still
I
not
don't know.
as simple as just lighting a match, because if you do that, then you're going to go kaboom as well.
Oh, yes, I was more inquiring about what can and cannot be done with a spell of that kind, because I don't know. It's not my forte. So,
Nervous.
Well, if it's her fucking spell, she can lift it whenever she wants. I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
neither do I.
A lot of questioning from someone who can't even cast a spell.
I didn't mean to laugh. I mean, it's not a bad plan. Polymorph. Emmy sneaks in. Magma in. We just need to figure out how to blow up the other sections. We got visibility. I can cast invisibility as well.
Same. I can do greater, so we can still cast spells.
Remind me, Taj, is greater shorter duration than normal?
Okay. It is about 1 minute.
Where to be?
And invisibility is where people can't see you.
Oh, fantastic. I keep forgetting. You're never around to see what I can do. If you want a demonstration sometime, just let me know.
I'm feeling really awkward right now.
Well, you haven't seen what I can do either, so.
Magic's scary.
They're flirting right now, Emmy.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Well, my magic's fucking scary. But the thing is, you'll never see it coming.
Why don't we do the easy tasks first and worry about blowing up the ship last?
Agreed.
Okay.
About the fabrication of evidence implicating Captain Nera worked with the Conservancy. I believe if we know someone who's good at forgery, to falsify documents, perhaps, and then report it to people of note, we would need something from Captain Oren's ship or belongings, though, and that I don't know how to do that.
Well, that's the one we potentially saw.
Maybe.
Because we could go back and dive down and get some evidence.
Are there wanted posters of any of his crewmates? Maybe Taj can turn into one of them? Maybe they survived? They're a survivor, maybe?
That's a cool idea.
From what I remember Blackbeak saying is, we just have to frame Mira that they were working with in the Conservancy. Fabricate something. Forge something, as you said.
We still have that that fabric with the logo on it, the emblem that we found from that sunken ship.
I believe so.
We can use that.
Yeah, I gave it to Hayden, I think.
We can forge a document, orders from the Conservancy, and then report it to the Congress? Who do you report bad pirates to?
The pirate police.
Well, direct violations of betraying the order would of course go to the Captain's Congress. The thing is if we come there with these things in hand, they're going to question how we got them. What if we do a little bit of skullduggery, make the accusation after we plant something on them?
Ah, spread rumors.
Well, have one of you forged something and I don't know.
I have in proficiency in forgery.
Oh.
Oh.
Perfect. And then maybe this one could prove himself useful in reverse pickpocket, perhaps. Something that Hayden could handle, maybe, since you have no magic to speak of.
That sounds like a brilliant idea, but what sort of captain just prounces around with conservancy items on their person? Not very smart.
Well,
no one would believe it.
I don't think that would matter, because regardless of what they would say, it's on them. What is she going to say? These aren't my pants.
We're putting pants on her pocket? I'm so confused.
Don't worry about Emmy.
Okay.
What's your problem, Hayden? It seems like every time anyone has anything that seems like a plausible idea, you seem to question everything. Are you a bit sore you lost the vote?
Honestly, the vote doesn't matter to me. I've said it in the open. This is not my ship. If I was chosen, so be it. And I'm a bit confused why you think I have a problem. We have 5 tasks at hand, 2 of which are extremely risky, so I want to make sure before we head off on some stupid plan that we have all our boxes checked. Again, I don't think a captain, a well-known captain, would be walking around with a torn-up flag from the Conservancy in her purse. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some pirates are that stupid.
Please, Hayden, tell us more about the inner workings of how the Conservancy operate with people. I'm dying to hear about it.
What does the Conservancy have to do with this?
Oh, sorry. We buried that hatchet, I forgot. On,
Am I wrong here in my thinking? Would it not be a stupid thing for a captain to be walking around with incriminating evidence in their pockets? Wouldn't that be something you would hide on a ship?
Not if you don't trust your crew. Most captains keep the most valuable things close to heart rather than leaving it in a box on a ship. I'm not saying you're wrong, Hayden. It's just we really don't have time or options. So once they are found out, quickly pirates won't come to the defense because there's always an opportunity for them to advance in the hierarchy.
Fair enough. Consider me swayed. Pirates can be stupid.
Do not look at me, whisper.
I wasn't looking at anyone, Captain. It is a true statement, though.
I say we can still think upon it, but we should do as Hayden has said and do the easy wins. We talk to Bloodfang. Tell them that a certain someone will take them on a fabulous trip for blood and riches in exchange for a vote. We give the chest to Thorn. don't see any reason why he would refuse. They owe quite a lot of money. So those are 2 secured wins. 2 votes done.
Which one first?
I say we talk to the Bloodfangs. Maybe we could split up and whisper if you can talk to Ironhide to get the chest that needs to go to Thorn.
I can do that. Is this something that we'll be partaking on immediately, or?
Did you find out when the nominations will be?
We did. Nominations on the 20th of September. So nominations in 3 days. After of which, a full week before the final vote. So, all of which needs to be done in the next 10 days.
But we still need those 5 nominations before the official vote, right? Or does it matter who they nominated, but it matters who they vote for?
All that matters in the end is who they vote for.
Ah.
Even if the...
You're going to nominate her, right, Patrick?
Of course. I quite like my head on my shoulders.
All that matters are those 2 that will rumored to be nominated, opposed to her, look foolish before the vote happens. Or gets in trouble. Or have no ship.
It's hard to be nominated if you don't have a seaworthy vessel.
I would assume that I do have some time to take care of personal matters, unless you wanted to start immediately.
You may see the Pisamatas.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I'll check up on the crew. Make sure they're going about their business.
All right, very well.
Just call me when you're ready.
Very good. I think we'll start tomorrow. What time is it right now?
What time would you like it to be?
Dinner time?
It can be as close to dinner time as you would like.
Well, Taj and I would like to go to her friend's place.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. Taj, do you have a moment to speak before I head out?
Let's go.
All right. Is this meeting adjourned, Captain?
It is adjourned.
Very well. And she heads out and kind of just leads Taj off the ship, just a place to converse before everyone's kind of heading their way. Well, I'm gonna get right to this, Taj. I think the longer we wait to get this artifact back from Escos, the harder it's going to be.
There are 2 ways to look at it. If it is under lock and key and there's been no noise about it for a while, then people will forget. And maybe the security will be seen as a waste of time because there's nothing that is happening, So that is one way to look at it. The other way is the more time we wait, the more time they have to prep to take it and put it where it needs to be. So
I think it would be the latter. Waiting out the stringent security could take months, years.
Mhm.
This is quite the embarrassment on the order.
Well, we have business to do here, so I do not know when it would be best to leave.
Just think that, of course, after our business is done here, maybe we could sway the captain.
I go get it.
Maybe play on, I don't know, revenge against those assholes. Know that he has no love lost for him.
May I ask what your motives are to want to get it?
Well, it's like we discussed. I think that we could use it. I mean, this sort of thing, for all we know, could change our very lives, and we just hand it back to them. Lock under key. They probably even know what it does.
But what about Blackbeak?
We are under Blackbeak's wing. For now, but things change. I like to make my own fate when at all possible.
So there is possibility that you side with us one day?
It all depends. I wouldn't rule it out.
We would love to have you.
I think that it's nice to think about, but well, there's still some friction points for me.
There will always be friction.
Well, anyway, it's just been a minute since we've spoken about this, and I know from my conversations with him that, at the very least, Kuta is interested in seeing what it can do.
Aye, she has a knack for ancient things and knowledge. I think that we could set the course in motion to get it, but I think everybody else is going to want to know your motives, or how do I say it? Not that they did not trust you, but being under Blackwing's boot on her neck might make them feel like you are going to take the item and bring it to her and not have us use it.
Well, I mean, you have his ear, obviously. What would you say to him?
I trust you. So, if I trust you, then they should trust you too.
What would you say to convince him if it were your idea?
That we should see what it does. That maybe there is more to it than they want us to know, and it could be powerful and aid us. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
All I'm saying is, I don't like being under someone else's boot, and I don't like being, well, underestimated in any opportunity for us to turn the tide and be a fucking force in the seas. I think we should take it.
I agree.
Well, what's to think about?
And I put like my forehead and my like head to her head, you know, like touch foreheads. I'm like, we are good. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you kind of have to like turn your head a little bit because she has her horns that stick out and kind of ram around her, being a tiefling. And while you're sort of doing this, you see an elven gentleman sort of come up. Oh, Whisper. Hi. Do you have a moment? And she sort of looks at this person that looks like a relatively young lad, like short cropped, like blonde hair. Looks like another salty sailor here with the rest of them. But young, not quite as salty as the others. You don't see many battle scars on him. She just stares daggers into this guy. And she just looks. I'm sorry, did you need something? And he sort of looks, my mistake. I'm sorry. Someone told me to see you. It's fine. I'm going to go and goodbye. And just sort of like nods and then like sort of shuffles away and then kind of walks back into the heart of the cove. Well, I'll have some business to handle this evening. Enjoy your luxurious dinner. That's to you, Taj.
Thank you.
And
do you want to join us or?
Fire engagements, unfortunately. But maybe another time.
Okay.
Anything other than, well, whatever the fuck Chowder cooks. And she sort of backs away and puts up her hooded cloak over her head and sort of disappears into the crowd back in the direction towards the center where the random elf guy had kind of walked back into, just to the center of town, basically. And with that, after that conversation, the rest of you are sort of off of the ship and ready to go wherever it is that you are wanting to go to.
Nick, before we're off the ship,
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
That journal that we found in the box below decks.
Okay.
Can you remind me? It had some sort of magic, right? But we couldn't figure out what it was.
No, I'm pretty sure that you like straight up identified the item, and that journal worked like sending, but in written form.
Well, yeah, we did figure that out.
Yeah,
and
no one's using it
was.
though. But no one's used it since then.
Yeah, and everything was like very innocuous. Like,
I'm gonna
nothing.
Take it from that location.
Gotcha. So you go down below decks, where you'd kind of placed it to keep an eye on it. It's gone.
I will use locate object.
Okay. What is the range on locate object?
Thousand feet of me.
1,000
for 10 minutes.
feet. Gotcha. Alrighty. Currently at this time, you're not getting any, sonar pings 1,000 feet within the ship.
I will wait and cast it again once we are like in some other key locations.
Okay. Gotcha. Alrighty.
Well, Taj, are you ready for dinner?
Let us go.
I wanted to talk with you that we're alone,
Hmm.
and I didn't want anyone else to hear this but you.
What is it?
What if our so-called boss, we turned everything against her? Not only would we be free of being under their wing, we would also be free of our sizable debt.
Wait, I didn't hear the first thing you said. You said turn what against what?
Our benefactor, our boss.
How do we... What do you mean?
If we and information, she is behind all of this. Get the other captains on board, ruin her.
Do you think that they would, or is it that they are more afraid of what she could do? I mean, she seems to have her own business within a business. Everybody knows her name. She runs this place, you know it.
I don't know if she runs this place unless she will become part of the Congress, then yes, she will. But currently she doesn't. And yes, everyone fears her.
But do they fear her enough not to go against her? I think that they will do it.
I mean, with her out of the picture, there'll be a power vacuum and all hells will break loose. But trying to think of all the options.
I'm not sure it will work. Would have to have a solid plan, and who would we tell? Who is the one that would care? I do not know.
I don't know either.
The person who would know is not here. They are dead. And she is running for the spot. So who are we going to tell herself?
If we can prove that he's the one who killed Orion, I mean, that's all we need. And the Congress will handle the rest.
Do you think that that is what happened?
I think she's capable of many things. It's very possible.
If we have solid plan, then I am for it, but I do not know if you will have the aid and support that you think you will.
All right. Just wanted to probe your mind on all possible avenues.
I mean, it is good if we could get the support, but I mean, you've seen how people are around her. They are afraid. And I think if one person backs out, then another person backs out, and then before we know it, it is our word against ours. If we do not have people that are willing to come forward and say, this is what happened. And the evidence, I mean, they could plant evidence against us. They are people of power.
All right. We're nobody of note. We haven't made a name for ourselves yet, so why would anyone believe us?
I believe it is a good idea if we have support and it is concrete.
All right. I think we may have to become more cozy with the other captains. Gain favor before we can pull something like this off. Well, thank you for the clarity, Taj. The one thing I love about you. All right, let's get on to dinner.
Alrighty. So you all head to dinner. I believe the invitation was open to like your party, but it's up to the others if they wanted to go. The invitation was intended to be like for the group, but it's up to you all, like if you want to go.
He has other plans, so.
What about Hayden?
You know what? He might actually just stay behind on the ship.
Okay.
With all the goings on, he's just gonna kind of like, I don't know, maintain a presence, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. So we will handle dinner, and then let me know when you all have some other things that you want to do, and we can focus on those as well. So you make your way over to Zara's sort of shop, the Accoutrements Arcane, and you make your way there, and you're sort of immediately hit with like these just delicious like smells, or sweets, flowery, and you hit this just beautiful display, similar as last time, is when you walk in of there's like living plant life for walls, like jungle vines, like very leafy plants. Inside there's sort of gleaming crystals, creating ambiance. Nice seating arrangements. It's very nice, very classy. There are sort of disembodied like music playing, and it's like everything has been taken great care of, making sure that like the lighting is correct, the sounds are correct, their manufactured smells going into this place are all correct. Very, very much attention to detail.
We'll knock on the door.
And no one says anything.
Bring
The door.
Wine as a gift before we head over.
All right. How much do you spend?
3 gold.
Gotcha. So the door sort of just swings open, and you're hit even more with this just wonderful aromas. And the door, there's no one's there. It opened on its own, and then there's just a tray, just like floating in the air, of just some drinks, some wine or tea, and like some finger foods. And you know that she's used things like unseen servants to go grab and fetch food and do things for her.
Oh, we'll walk in. I'll grab an hors d'oeuvre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then she sort of comes out from like the back area. It's like her normal, like bespoke magic services shop has been made to like host. And you can see that there's a table for like 5 or 6 people. And she looks up and she goes, "Oh, you are right on time. Is it just you two?"
It is. The others were had other plans.
They busy.
disappointing and insulting.
Allow me to apologize on their behalf.
Apology accepted. Please sit. And she snaps her fingers, and then the tray is set down on like a side table, and then one of the tables is sort of picked up and then is moved out of the room. Well, it is good to see you all. It has been far too long. Taj, you must do better keeping in touch with your friends. So hard to keep connections of people of our caliber these days.
I've brought a Sauvignon Blanc as a gift.
She sort of looks at it. Did you buy this on the island?
Yes, I did.
It is a very sweet gesture. Thank you. I shall save it for a special occasion. And it sort of holds it out, and it sort of just like is floating, like someone's walking it and getting put into the bag. Well, I hope you all are hungry. And, well, before we talk about business, how are you doing? How fares your adventures? How is your magic?
It is good. We went to the symposium in Escos, and it was interesting there. There were people who were after us. Our friend Aiden what led us there is he was turned into stone, and then when we got him, he was no longer stone. We cannot explain it. We don't really know who turned him back, why. If he is who he says he is. I wonder if he did not come tonight because he knows that you might know something. I don't know.
Well, we've gotten quite serious in this conversation with people turning to stone, magically coming, well, miraculously coming back to not stone. Very peculiar indeed. Seems as though you've had your hands full. Well, what do you both make of all this?
I don't know if it's fate or the gods or we're cursed, but just so far we've been struggling. It's a series of unfortunate events, one after another.
Such the way of a pirate.
Very true.
You only hear about the successful ones.
It'd be nice to have a nice win under our belt.
Well, you have just the person to turn your luck around and spend fate to your will. You're lucky to have Taj.
Of course, gods know it. I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for her.
Don't forget it.
But what about you? It's been a couple of months. How fares the shop? What's new in your life? Have you met someone? Or?
People are exhausting. Pirates are exhausting. I mean, I like the autonomy that being here provides. Of course, I couldn't do this anywhere else, given my arcane knowledge. And I refuse to sign my life away to some sort of menial task that is beneath me. Here, for the most part, I am left alone for my studies, and I choose my clients wisely, and I'm generally left alone. Of course, now when the entire fucking island is back here, there are those that seek unknown powers to turn the tides. It's ridiculous. Even if I could just give them some power, they wouldn't know the first thing how to wield it. Magic is not a lever that you can just pull. It is an art. Enough of that. Business is good. I can, of course, choose my clients wisely, but there are not more of them to choose from here, so promising prospects. Gold flowing
yes.
freely.
You mean the one that you had an exchange with earlier at the Mermaid?
No. There is no chance in hell I would work for him or his captain. You're familiar, I suppose?
Which captain are you referring to? There's quite a lot now these days.
The Captain Tarak of the Bloodfang.
Oh. And what was his crew looking for you to do?
Exhausting conversation where I want magic to make my ship more powerful. I want to wield the power of the arcane. Give us things to make us feared. It's not even a question. They don't even know what they ask for.
That's not how it works.
What?
They too are looking to seize power in this moment. I'm sure the vacant position, a lot of people want to do whatever they can.
Everyone wants power. And every time a crew comes in after a large prize, they convince the crew to invest and make their ships more powerful. It's all rubbish. A few moments later, another disembodied tray sort of comes out with a creamy bisque type soup. There is like a tartlets made of some sort of like wild mushrooms of sorts, and then some greens on the side.
Oh, this looks lovely.
I would say that I made it myself, but I just will it to be made, so same thing. Of course, if you don't mind, she sort of holds her hand above the tray.
Oh no, please.
And you both recognize that she casts prestidigitation to enhance the flavor.
Well, let's dig in. Bon appetit.
It's like when I put Old Bay on everything.
Yes, let's get that MSG.
Yeah.
Yep.
King of flavor.
And you all are just kind of politely eating after finishing, your meal. Like right about the point that you're like getting close to being done with it, another tray comes out with what looks like a sort of like a panna cotta, and just has this lovely like lavender like aroma coming off of it. A couple of like the leaves put on the side for garnish.
While we're eating, I'm like, actually, I do have business with Captain Duroc. I need to gain his favor.
Why?
I need him to nominate someone, but I need to get his trust. But perhaps you can. Maybe I can give him something that he thinks will make him powerful, but it isn't.
Listen, I find the Blooded Buccaneers to be, one, exhausting to deal with, a bit brutish, and if they were to be given something by me that they deemed to not be, what do you say, up to task, I would not enjoy having someone in the slightest upset the quality of my work. I do have a reputation to uphold.
Oh, apologies. There's no way I would ever involve you in the dealings. It's more maybe I'm presented to them and them not knowing where it came from.
They favor strength and brute force. physical prowess. That's what they care about. So, if there is some way in which you would like to present to them that you embody this, then I would, of course, be willing to help, but not for free.
Oh, of course. I would obviously pay for your services. I'm not expecting charity.
Something could perhaps be arranged.
All right, excellent.
Well, you're sort of finishing up the meal, and then another disembodied tray, and it's not like floating like a weird, like how you'd think on like a TV show. Ooh, it's magic, it's like telekinesis. It looks like someone just carrying a tray. It's just you don't see anyone there. It comes out with some nice little coffees for after dinner. Okay. So, you've come for a favor from me, Taj. You have the necessary ingredients. I am interested in, of course, unlocking these secrets with you. So, I am ready to begin whenever you all are, and then, of course, Azric, you can be next in line, and we can discuss how you display manliness and power to the Bloodied Buccaneers.
Ah, okay.
And I like put all the ingredients on the table.
Yep. And all of like the leftovers from dinner and the trays are all like immediately carried out by the unseen servants. No. Let's see here. This is good. This is very good. Now, what I think that if it were me, Taj, perhaps I make scroll for you. You take the time to learn, and then you can cast whenever you want, or we just make the scroll and get it over with. Up to you.
I would like to take the time to learn it.
Very well. It will only take me, maybe an hour, or maybe 2. And she sort of takes all of your ingredients, so the ironwood splinters, the echoing crystal, the basilisk scale, and she sort of just takes them and sort of puts them out on the table, and sort of starts what looks like casting some sort of ritual. All of the pieces begin to float and sort of spread apart like in a line, and then are all just immediately just slammed together. Quite violent, and with much more force than you think could have been possible from just a mere like couple feet away. And what happens are all of these pieces that are slammed together, and it forms a powder of sorts that she sort of just mixes together aimlessly. She grabs a sort of tincture of sorts, an empty bottle, and takes the tincture, pours it in the empty bottle, sort of sprinkles in all of the dust left over, and begins to cork it and shake it. And you can see like a bright gold colored sort of emulsification of these items sort of occurring as she's shaking this, and sets it down onto the table. And takes the cork off, pours it into an empty ink well that has been brought out by one of her unseen servants. Takes a quill that she is sort of controlling with some sort of arcane power as she's gesturing with her hand, and the quill starts writing on a piece of parchment of sorts in front of her. And it looks, I mean, almost effortless to her. She's just sort of striking up a conversation, like small talk while it's happening. Very impressive, Azric. Like this sort of, control over the arcane. You're just like, whoa, Taj, you've known Zara for so long. She is showing off. She's showing out. Like she could have had this done, but she's like making a whole presentation and like a show of it, like to keep up appearances. But it takes a little bit of time while you're sort of chatting and things, and then she finishes it, and you can see this large sort of scroll about a foot and a half by a foot and a half that's just unfurled, and you see when it's unfurled the individual text that looks like it is ink. As soon as you begin to read it, if you have the ability to cast this spell or have arcane magic, the letters will glow as you're looking over each of them in that highly like golden yellow. And she sort of hands it over to you. Now, perhaps you can give me something more challenging next time.
What would you want?
Just a suggestion. I mean, you've already asked me for a scroll of true seeing, but I do not think that you have the necessary ingredients for that yet, but...
I mean, if you want to have fun, then I could give you something to make if you tell me what you want to make.
Just making conversation. And Taj, to learn this, it's going to take, this is a second level spell, and knock is this.
Wait, knock?
Knock is second level. True seeing is much higher.
Yeah. In my mind, I was like, why didn't I just take knock?
I think you had that thought earlier on. But I think it was the enticement of I can just get this for free. If I remember correctly, instead of because you just get to know it now.
Yeah.
But like you'd mentioned before, y'all have had a whole bunch of other quests to do. You potentially could have done that in between if you wanted to, but that's okay. Yeah, it'll take you a few hours to do this. So it's just like the evening of like food and like snacks and talking and stuff like that while you're copying it into your spellbook. But ultimately, y'all are still here in the evening, and you now have access to the spell Knock, and you can put that on your character sheet in your spellbook. It's yours forever to prepare whenever your heart tells you.
Pizza, thank you.
You're welcome. You did all the hard work. Now, true seeing, the scroll of true seeing, is still out of your reach. That spell is 6th level. Well, are you going to get this orb out? I'm anxious to see what will happen once we solve the riddle, puzzle, whatever it is.
Oh, we're going to do this now? Oh, okay.
That's why I agreed to do this.
You're right, absolutely right.
Has the amount of time passed for me to know it?
Yeah. All good. You can know it. You can do it. You can make it happen here.
And I'll do it.
Gotcha. So the fun thing about Knock as a spell. Great for opening all kinds of stuff. When you cast the spell, a very loud knocking noise, it's audible from hundreds of feet away, happens.
Even if you do subtle spell?
Subtle spell. So let me take a look at what it says. Because if I remember correctly, all subtle spell does is you can cast it without somatic or verbal components. So nobody would know that you cast it, but they would still hear it. It's part of the spell. There's no way to keep that from happening other than some other way of doing that.
Got it.
Make an Arcana check.
Make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Seven.
7. So you think about it, you're like, no, it's subtle spell. Yeah, that wouldn't quite. If I wanted to be quiet, I couldn't do this. Maybe there's some other way that I could keep sound from happening if I cast this somewhere. It's kind of escaping your mind at this moment, but there might be a way if you wanted to cast this quietly to do so. It just might take multiple, maybe another spell, maybe some other clever way. Who knows?
Oh, silence. How do you cast inside silence?
I do not have that unless you do.
I do not, unfortunately.
So,
but there's booze flowing through the streets, fights, yelling, screaming, songs. I think a knocking is not going to bother anyone.
Then here we go.
Yep. That was just a description of me since it was your first time casting the spell. Because it's fun. Because it's one of the few ones. It's like, it makes a loud noise. I think another one is like thunder wave might be one. There's another one that's like, it makes big time, like crazy noise. So anyway, you prepare. You pull out the Cryptex Arcanum. For those of you at home, if you don't remember, since it's been 38 episodes. No, it's been shorter, like 30 something. But it is basically like a basketball or volleyball sized like orb. Lovingly called the Orby by Taj. And you previously were able to sort of complete an sort of initial puzzle of arcane wards to line them up to sort of open this up, in which you were presented with a symbol that you deciphered. Maybe I can cast knock to open it completely. So as you sort of open it and you sort of turn it, all of these sort of arcane words come into place as you've already completed that part of it. And then whenever you're ready, you can cast knock.
I cast knock.
Yeah, so you cast knock super loud, like someone's knocking on a big old door in the heavens. I don't know, 300 feet away. Anybody can hear it. Nobody cares. It's a party on the Cove right now. It's just loud. So you cast knock, and this symbol just sort of shears and then breaks, and then you can see these fragments sort of just dissipate and then almost vanish. Purely like arcane showmanship here. And sort of what happens from there is a sort of almost like an audible like message or a recording or something. And you hear someone's voice. Sounds like a man, maybe a young man. And it says, in my quest for balance, I've come to understand that power is not merely a force to be wielded, but a burden to be borne. I want to bring harmony to this chaos, yet it teaches on the edge of ruin for every breath that I take. And those who must seek its secrets must do so with the wisdom to see beyond their ambition, for in the balance of power and submission lies the choice between creation and destruction. Interesting, so peculiar. And then it stops. And it's like that you basically listened to an entry to someone's diary of sorts.
Where did we find this again?
Ghost Island. And can I use memory of the catastrophe on this?
So, you were referring to the arcane locus, if I remember correctly. With the arcane locus, let me find my notes here. The arcane locus, those memories, so memory of the catastrophe, you can use that to gain the knowledge of sort of ancient magic in the time before the catastrophe, right? Also, what can happen with the locus is you can have memories, like disembodied memories that you haven't had. But let me know what you're trying to figure out with this, and I'll tell you how you can roll.
I'm trying to, I guess, figure out maybe who this person is. Maybe we came across some reference when we were in the ancient ruins.
Make history with advantage.
Okay. That would be a 17.
With the 17, you know that on the Whispering Isle, you came across a sort of establishment that could have been very easily a learning center. You found quite a large library there, but also simultaneously a place of worship of some sort of figure that made no sense to any of you all. None of the deities relate to arcane magic whatsoever. However, you did know that there were people that were going here to learn. Case in point, I believe that you had found a textbook of sorts in the back that was a message from someone's parents. I think the student was Maziath, saying how proud they were of them and how much they love them and they're going to do great. So based on this and where you found this artifact here, it very easily could have been a student, maybe an instructor, slash religious leader, which seems weird to say because you're talking about arcane magic. But this seems like some sort of diary from a figure that was in this, I'll just say an establishment for now, because you're not sure exactly what it was. But it's very well like the musings, the technical notes, or a diary of someone that was, it almost seems like philosophy of arcane power. They're trying to understand and like put into terms that they can understand of what power they're wielding. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah.
But you would also think, both of you, that, okay, if you get this tidbit, maybe there's more layers to pull back here. Maybe you could know who's sort of, I don't know, magical diary this may be. But at this point, just some musings from there. But you noticed after this sort of disembodied voice sort of gives this, entry. The room starts to change around you. From whence you were in Zara's, accoutrements arcane, it seems seeping out from the Cryptex Arcana almost as if another reality being superimposed on the one that you are currently in. It seems as though that for a brief moment you were put somewhere else, and it's not that you still understand you're in Zara's shop, but it seems that something's been superimposed over the top of it, almost ethereal in nature. And from there, you can see that it looks like around you is this grand and open chamber, marble floors, just like looming columns above. And whoa.
Oh no.
It's okay. Looming columns above. You can sort of see a young man wearing some sort of robes pacing back and forth in this room. And the walls sort of flicker in and out of existence. And from there, you can sort of see they're deep in study. And they sort of look at you like you're there, but quickly realize that they're looking past you. If you have a moment, would you mind helping me with this? I could really use some extra set of eyes on this if you don't mind. And with that, that's where we're going to end our episode this evening.
Oh man.
Thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. Hopefully you've had a fantastic time. But with that, make sure to vote into chat on who you think the MVP should be, and whoever wins will get a free inspiration for them to use for next session. So I'll put that in the chat post haste, and you all can vote ASAP. And I hope you all had a fantastic evening and watching. Man, so much lore for you all this episode.
A lot to digest. Holy moly.
Yeah, so much lore. But yeah, lots
of
of fun.
Whole full page of notes.
Yee. But thank you all for watching. If you haven't, please go subscribe to us on YouTube and also follow us on Twitch. It's Caches and Cantrips there. It would mean the world to us. And share our content with those that you like or those that you hate, whichever direction you want to go. And then as always, you can come hang out with us in Discord, discord.gg/Caches and Cantrips. And come hang out with us there, or get a look at our Patreon, also Caches and Cantrips, and come get early access to some of those things. So but with that, I hope you all had a fantastic time. I am interested in what's going to happen next week, because I don't know, spoiler, maybe you have another little puzzle on your hands for Taj. But anyway, Taj, you have gotten the vote for MVP. Please take your inspiration. And with that,
we're gonna need it next week.
Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all next week. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.